I finished almost everything Dawn of Ragnarok has to offer. I will have a review up with my impressions very soon, but I cannot share it yet for embargo reasons. But I can already give you tips and some nice info that will help your journey through Svartalfheim a lot, without of course any story spoilers whatsoever. I will show you only the first tutorial mission and some side content here and there. Important to know is that this is a $40 expansion. It's separate from the season pass, and if you buy it before April 9th, then you also get the Twilight pack with the armor set, a weapon and a mount. Already went over this in a previous video, we'll link to that in the video description. This is high level content. The power level requirement for Svartalfheim is 340, so if you are already that level, then you will just get a notification similar to previous expansions and can then start the DLC right away when it launches on March 10th. And a pro tip, by the way, if you like me got the game on the nightmare difficulty, turn it down because you cannot change it during the tutorial mission and you will fight a boss there that will just kick your ass on a higher difficulty. So switch your difficulty to normal, and then inside Svartalfheim you can always go back to a higher difficulty because you can switch it there at any time. Now, if you are not 340 yet, but already made some progress in Valhalla, they can still play the content after buying it. Upon booting up the game, you immediately get the Restless Dream mission in your quest log, which is for this DLC, and they can rest under the tree to start the tutorial. After that, you go to Valka's hut, which of course need to build first if you haven't already, and then before you make your trip to Svartalfheim, you get a warning saying that this content is for power level 340. Now you can choose to boost your save to 340, which will give you an upgraded armor, level 2 abilities, but then the moment you return to England, you will lose those boosted items and go back to your current level, but still everything you earn in Svartalfheim, including the XP, will be taken with you to England. So this is totally nice if you don't want to like level up first in order to play Dawn of Ragnarok. Just use this feature. You can still experience the DLC, get the gear and weapons, and then yeah, go back to England at any point and continue the main story whenever you want. Now there's also a boost for if you never played Valhalla, then you can select new game in the menu and then immediately pick Dawn of Ragnarok to get a pre-made character that will only exist in Svartalfheim. So it's similar to the boost that we saw in Odyssey. The save files for this will be noted as Dawn of Ragnarok exclusive, and you will skip the parts in the settlement I talked about and only play the content in Svartalfheim, which is almost all of the DLC content anyways. I was really surprised by the amount of gear and weapons you actually get when doing this. Like, it's all the mythical items that you see in my inventory here, while the divine items, which the new rarity, are the helix items that you might have on your account. Also, a ton of abilities are already unlocked. I also think this based on the year 1 expansions you might have. So I totally think it might be a bit overwhelming for new players, but you totally got the right tools, I think, to succeed. Although, again, maybe start on easy or normal for that first tutorial boss. And by the way, if you like the Valhalla content here on the channel, then leaving a like on the video would be awesome, and subscribe because I got way more Dawn of Ragnarok videos of course coming your way. You already get the Hugger Rip 20 minutes into the DLC, no matter the power level or boost you chose. This lets you take so-called Odin powers from fallen Muspel and Jotun enemies. Like, you can turn into a Muspel to walk over lava and solve puzzles that way, which is very handy, but overall though, my tip would be, don't be afraid of the lava, because if you just roll through it, you can still get to the other side. While if you have to like move things in the lava, then you have to use this Odin power. And to use these Odin powers, you need Hugger, which you get from killing enemies, but also from the many blooms and shrines you find in useful locations. Now, at the start of the expansion, you only have one Hugger bar, so then after using one Odin power, you have to collect Hugger again in order to use another Odin power. Luckily, there is an upgrade that unlocks a second bar, which you can easily unlock by going to a blacksmith, but this will cost you 10 silica, while you start the DLC with only 2. So it's totally smart to make a quick detour to one of the raid locations, like this one close by, to get this resource, because if you don't bother with these locations, then it will take a really long time before you get the required silica for this upgrade. Every crystal icon gives you 2 silica. There are 4 in this raid location, so that you can get to 2. go back to the blacksmith and then you can unlock this second bar, and that will really make your life throughout this DLC way easier. And yes, you see me fly as a raven here, and that's totally the most useful Odin power in Dawn of Ragnarok. Now, after the title screen, very early on in the DLC, you can already spot 2 ravens, and if you kill them, you can claim this power. And I always had this one on hand, like I never switched it out. Svartalfheim is namely way more vertical than other Valhalla areas, so being able to fly at any point is a game changer. Also, not having to climb huge statues for sync points will save you a lot of time and is also really fun. And by the way, pro tip is to zoom in so you can very easily select a landing point, and when you do this, if the effect is almost over, they can travel a bit further and basically extend the use of the Raven a bit. But you can also upgrade the duration of this power from 30 to 50 seconds, but next to silica you will need Raven feathers for this. And you get that from killing these big birds. So totally kill and loot them every time you see them. So then you have these feathers in no time and you can extend the duration before you know it, which will really help you traverse the new realm as well. What will also help you when traversing this new world is of course your mount. You start out with that regular mythical mount, but you can now luckily change it to any other mount you own at the dwarven stable you already find at the first settlement. But what also helps is upgrading your favorite armor to the new Devine Quality. If you namely have a full Divine armor set equipped, you get no fall damage in Svartalfheim, thanks to the Divine Landing buff you can see in the inventory menu. Maybe you already noticed it, but the Helix and Reda items immediately turned into the Divine rarity, so you can wear one of those sets if you have it. But I personally upgraded my Paladin armor from the Streets of Paris, which I've been using throughout my whole playthrough of this DLC. It's still the best armor in the game. It will only cost you 5 platinum ingots to fully upgrade this set from mythical to divine. Now you can find chests in Svartalfheim that will give you platinum ingots, but some Reda or Helix items already give you platinum ingots if you downgrade them at the blacksmith. It doesn't seem to work for all these items though, so totally check what you get by downgrading. If you see an ingot there, they can downgrade that item and use the ingot on the gear you actually want to use. Equip it, and then you have no fall damage. Devine Quality gear with Dawn of Ragnarok installed has 3 extra inventory upgrade slots. You can also put new Odin armor and weapon runes on Divine items next to the regular major runes. And I had to scroll a long time, but once you get these new runes, they're mostly at the bottom of the list. You get quite a lot by playing through the main story, and I will of course go more in depth on them in a future video. Now in that first Dwarven shelter, again 20 minutes into the DLC, we also find our boy Reda, with actually some fun dialogue you can hear for yourself. Now, you of course get some new daily contracts in Svartalfheim, which are not too special from what I've seen so far, but one new daily contract is called Kara's Challenge, which is linked to the arena. And accepting this mission will immediately put a marker on the Svartalfheim map so you know where the arena is, and totally use the Raven power to easily get here because you have to otherwise climb a lot. Although I actually unlocked it before I got there, and then I could just fast travel there, which was kind of nice. So you can also fast travel here at any point, and even when drinking the Svartalfheim potion in Valka's hut, you can immediately select the arena, which I think might hint at some post-launch challenges that might be added later on. So Kara's Challenge is just a randomly generated arena challenge with pre-selected debuffs, completed for some arena tokens, and you also get 5 opal. Now it actually seems that this is an extra daily on top of the 2 we always have each day. Like here you can see that I can pick up 3 daily missions after having already finished the weekly a few days before. But yeah, there is still a problem where not all the dailies show up. They are looking into it, so it should be 3 each day in Dawn of Ragnarok, while you might only see 2 dailies right now, sadly. And yeah, there's way more to discuss for Dawn of Ragnarok, but wanted to give you some important info that is handy to know before playing and during your adventure first. So totally subscribe for way more Dawn of Ragnarok spoiler-free content. A like on the video would of course really show your support, and you can see my other Dawn video here if it's already up, or otherwise I will link to my stream with open world exploration of the new realm, which you can then also watch by clicking on the screen. For now, I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye!